Okay, so I'm gonna try this again. As the last sound of the last one was not loud enough, apparently. This is home for only 2 rabbits. Yes, you might think that's extravagant, but I think if you can own a pet, you should give it a good quality of life. And frankly, if you stick a rabbit in a 4-foot, 5-foot hutch with nothing else, then sorry, but you don't really deserve to have a pet. If you can't provide for it, it's like with a dog. If you can't take it for a walk, don't have a dog. Right, this is the 6-foot. This was actually hand built by CRAMMED. I had it made based on photographs of a design of one that I saw that was made from abroad, which was no longer available. But there are now plenty out there. Yeah, you are looking probably between 120 to 300 pounds. This was made for about 110 pounds. This was handmade by carpenters, so it can be done, and you can get some really nice ones even through some firms on eBay, some eBay shops where people make them. You have a good hunt around, you can get one. A lot of them you can assemble. This was made as one piece, so it was not easy to get around the back. Anyway, what I've done here is I wanted the ability for them to get to the run, and a decent sized run without causing too much disruption to the garden, even though it's still taken up half of the garden. But more importantly, there are other features here which may be useful, and some you really need to apply if you want to protect your rabbits, bunnies from predators, the elements, the weather, and including the hidden danger, which is fly strike. Flies lay eggs, and maggots come out and they start eating your rabbit alive, and often by the time you find it, it's too late. So we've got a 6-foot 2-tier hutch here. These panels you can see on here I have made, they're weather panels, which is just basically I've made a frame, put some bolts on. I am by no means a DIY person, so if you are good at DIY, I'm sure you could do a much better quality and more prettier job than this. So if you're not good at DIY, don't worry. If I manage to do this, anyone can. So I basically made these covers by just putting these bits of wood on here so I could line the bolts up. These were just pieces of long piece of wood I got from home base, sawed it up, joined it up with these brackets, drilled them in. Okay, I tried using these magnets, but in cold weather magnets fail. So this is a plastic matting, which I think is designed to go on the floor. I've got these griffy, pointy, which are quite sharp, which is ideal if a dog or a fox was to start sniffing. That'll get a bit of a prick. And nice and easy to store. I've got these brackets here, so out of rust now. Okay, put these on too, so it sits in there, and then that just closes up. Just line it up and lock. Okay. Okay, obviously 2-tier hutch here, which is this is Noah's, one of the rabbit section, the male. We call this his workshop. He comes up here to destroy boxes because male bunnies do like to destroy things and chew things, so you've got to supply that. It is designed as obviously their bedroom, but they seem to prefer sleeping downstairs, so we've had to make that area where they sleep. So this is more of an area where they can get a better view of the garden, some fresh air at night, because we leave it uncovered unless it's cold. And obviously Noah's workshop, as we call it, where he goes in to destroy cardboard, to keep him busy. That's pond liner on the top there, which is an additional cover. Obviously it's waterproof. This is the other cover here. Take this off. This is very good for you still let daylight in, but obviously keeps the wind and driving rain out, and a windshield factor, so you can keep them warm when it's chilly. Okay. God, you're making a right tip here, aren't you? No way. Give you another clean out today, again. Alright, this is basically, the two residents, Lulu and her husband Noah. Alright kids? Alright? You're comfy? Right. Okay, there's a picture of her sister over there who passed away unfortunately not 2 years ago. Anyway, let's digress. This is obviously when this hutch came, it had a platform, which most of them do have. They have a ramp that comes down, obviously, so they can get upstairs. Bit of a problem with that. If you do get one of these, quite often there's a gap here. Okay. Obviously it stops there, but usually a certain way down there's a gap. And they can actually lose their footing, and they can not only fall off this side, but they can actually fall through the gap, get trapped, and obviously have a fatal injury. So, wait, stop nibbling me. So I basically took this off, drilled in another platform there to get the width. I've also put aside just a bit of a cheap shelving from home base, and drilled up through and reinforced it, okay, which has given them a side ballast, if you like. Also, if you look on this side, yes, we have a bun cam. Sue me. We are fanatical. So they don't slip, especially when your bunny gets older, and they don't come down at warp 6. We've got this rubber matting here, which is really, really thick. Because as you may or may not have experienced already, the buck, which is the male rabbit, they are chewers, hence the workshop upstairs to try and keep him occupied from that. And we've used grip, which is the black rolly grip stuff you get to put on the dashboard of your car to stop your keys and phones slipping. We actually lined that with it, but he chewed it. So this stuff is this green rubber tiling, which usually comes in sort of a half metre square tiles at home base, about $6.99. And it's really tough rubber, so it's too tough for him to chew, and they've been drilled down by these steps. So again, this is all additional grip for them to get up and down nice and easily. As you can see there, I've blocked off at the point where they can slip down, so they can't slip down. So there you go, that's that bit. As you can see, what I've done here, I've actually got their old hutch and reinforced it because it was getting on a bit, and I've actually joined the old 5-foot hutch, which we felt wasn't deep enough for them, hence why we got this, and we've actually knocked it through where you can see the two red bits of wood there. Actually knocked it through there and joined it on. Now this is a summer, just a quick knock up summer cover I've done, which is basically just additional security from predators. Not that we really get any here because it's too difficult for them to get in, but it gives us peace of mind. So this is just again another cheaply built bit of frame, staple gun, a bit of wire onto it, and what we've done is again bolt on there, and there, just lifts up. So that's it's just an additional barrier. Be careful here for the flies. So as you can see, this was the old 5-foot hutch, which we've attached and kept the door on it. Again, it's just an extra bit of access for cleaning, a bit of insulation there. I'll tell you about that shortly. And as you can see, that's where the join is. I've just used these pieces to forward. They've basically been drilled. Okay, so actually see where the join is there. Okay, obviously there's a bit of a step there, so there's a little peat box we've built there so they can step up onto it. You're going to sleep, yeah? Getting old now, aren't you, darling? Right. Bugger off, she says, I'm trying to sleep. Right. So yeah, what we've done here is join them together. The reason it's not level, unfortunately, it's the way that our wall is here, so short of dismantling that, which I wasn't prepared to do, it just means that there's a step, but it's no big deal. But we've joined the hutch there. Again, it's been drilled through, nailed and drilled, so a bit fiddly because we couldn't get around the back, but doesn't really need it. But as an additional, made a platform there and a leg to take the weight off, and obviously the wall supports the rest of the weight. So that gives them a 10-foot run. So if it's too cold to go outside, they can still get plenty of exercise. Just keep the wind off them. Okay, it's a 7 by 5 foot run. What I'm about to take off now is this cover here, which we use for two things. We use it as a cover for the run when it's raining, so the grass doesn't get too waterlogged, and obviously gives them a bit of protection for the rain, gives them a choice to go into a part of the run where there is rain, but its actual purpose was this. Sorry about the leaves. Right, this is actually a small trellis, which I've put on two sides. Plastic, again the same stuff from home base, the clear mat with the spikes, and it's been stapled, nail gunned all the way around. 3 bits of wood holding on the plastic, as well as made a handle. And that just again bolts here, the same place as the cage front, and that's obviously when the weather's bad, a bit of extra warmth, and again still lets in daylight for them. What we can do in the winter, if you want to get more insulation, home base do this stuff, which it's insulation. It's on a roll. You get about 10 metres of it, I think, for about a tenner at home base. Ideal, even if you do have these covers. We use 1, 2 or 3 of these layers, and we slot it behind the. Obviously, it stops daylight coming in, but they can see at night, can't they? So we have these thicker ones up here, so we can actually just do one side or the whole lot, and then we put the covers, clear covers on top of that to hold that in place. So a bit of insulation. And sometimes what you can do is staple insulation silver on the back of the hutch, and even up here, obviously heat escapes. Some male bucks will chew it. The reason we haven't got it on there is that Noah does chew it, so what I'm going to have to do before the winter sets in is put the silver up there, staple it, and then put some wire over the top so the bugger can't destroy it. Yes, I'm talking about you. Right, so nice and cheap, easy to get, and again, that's ideal to keep the heat in. Obviously this is not much use, this window side here, so we've done that permanently there, the plastic and the silver foil, and that's all been riveted, stapled on, etc, etc. So hutches must be off the ground, so this my uncle made for us. Our recycling, so that's obviously keeps the hutch off the ground, and a little storage space as well. So let's just put this up here. This is a 7 by 5 foot run, which this actually comes off. That it does fold away, but we've obviously placed it permanently, because obviously it's screwed in where the cat flap is, and this was off eBay. It was about 79 quid, I think. Very good quality. We've got the central point here, so you can access. We haven't got any grass in our garden, so I made them a peat box. It's all drainable underneath, and he does chuck out all the stuff on it, so it doesn't rot sometimes. Winter's coming, and about 2-3 times a year I relay that. It's £1.99 for a roll of turf from my own base, nice and cheap. Amazingly, by coincidence, it was exactly the width of the box, so when I buy it I just put it on, take that off, put it on there, roll it off, nice and easy. It's just a wooden tunnel, which is also the way Lulu gets up. There's a step over there, so at the end of the tunnel, which she then gets up onto the peat box if her arthritis is playing her up. Okay, so you've got grass and you've got stone, which keeps their nails ground down, and toys and tunnels, cardboard to chew. You should always keep them occupied. It needs a bit of a clean out as well. You can probably see that all of the complex has got this green netting, which you can get from garden centres. Sometimes it's really expensive, so have a good hunt around. This came in, I think it was about 2 or 3 packs at £9.99, and basically that was been stapled. Used a cheap bit of matting to sort of staple it down, because sometimes it rips through the staples. So basically, however way you want to fix it, this netting completely encompasses all of it. Why? Fly strike. This keeps the flies out. Flies are deadly to rabbits. You might have been lucky so far. We went 3 years before realising the risks. Flies lay eggs. They're white, clear, sticky, and they stick to the rabbit. They hatch. Symptoms, if they have got fly strike, can be over drinking, change in habits. There might be shaking, because of course rabbits don't show pain, because it shows from their instinct in the wild. It stops. They don't make a noise, so they don't give their position away. So if your rabbit's in pain, it won't show you via noise. So you need to get to know your rabbit on their their mannerisms, and basically if their personality is changing. So if they're not running around, if they're not, if they're just sitting in the corner, they're usually still gone off their food. That's a sign as well. But the fly strike, they can go into shock. They'll drink lots of water, weeing themselves. So when you lift them up, they might have like wee stained fur. So have a dig around the fur, and if you do, God forbid, see the maggots, then obviously it's an emergency vet. Yes, it will cost you £90 to £100, but it will save the rabbit's life, possibly. And they will eat into the flesh. They will eat them alive. It's not pleasant. Fly strike is a real threat. So two things. Their rear guard, which is about £30. It looks like a sponge roll-on, and you put that on there. That stops the eggs hatching. It kills the eggs. If the eggs do stick to them, they won't hatch. It kills the larva. Okay, that's a £30 treatment, probably twice a year, which you just roll on, just sponge onto their fur. It goes into their skin, and obviously prevents that from happening. And as an additional, there's this stuff. So it still lets daylight in, still lets the breeze in, still lets the sun in, but won't let the flies in. So once you've got it, you've got it. And that's it really. It's it was an addition, all this add-on, but as you can see here at the end, got the cat flap. We have the flap off in the summer, but obviously that'll be going on very soon because autumn's starting to settle in, and they obviously just push through it quite happily. A little ramp I've made. So this is a little door, hinge needs replacing there. So if we want them to stop them going out for a reason, for cleaning or separation for whatever, or if it's the weather's extremely bad, if we don't want them to go out, which is quite rare because they can usually make that choice themselves and come and go as they please. So, but it is there if we need it. So they're quite happy because they can come and go and choose whether they want to go out or not, which I think is lovely. You can't exactly ask them, can you? So that's it really. That's 10 foot they got, 6 foot upstairs, 7 by 5 foot up there. Rescue rabbits from over the years. Had a pretty shit start life. Usually get brought for kids, which you should never do. In fact, the RSPCA will question you if you want to get them from rescue centres. They won't let you have one on its own. Rabbits are social creatures. They need a partner or a friend. But get advice on that. So if you are going to have a rabbit, 6 foot hutch minimum please, attached run either at the front, you can get them built in, and one, if you haven't got it attached, like we have, where they can go out and play outside on the grass. Give them a lot of attention, don't just leave them at the bottom of the garden. That's it. Bun City, as we call it. Any questions, then by all means make a comment, and if I can ask I will, but I'm not a DIY man, which just goes to show that if you are not, you can still make a good effort. As you can see, we've even got cameras in there to keep an eye on them. The monitor in here, so you can see the run. You can see them there. That might be going a bit far for some of you, but it's rude to keep an eye on Lulu because she's getting on a bit now. So, right, that's it. That's a luxurious home for our bunnies. Bless them. But please don't buy a small hutch. I think it should be illegal. Imagine yourself in a box room in your study that's what, 10 by 8 foot. Imagine being stuck in there day in, day out, in your own excrement. It's not good. Need space, variety, need to be kept entertained. They're more intelligent than people lead you to believe, rabbits. They have I never realised this until we had them, but they do develop and they have their own personalities. And yes, a rabbit can get lonely, it can get depressed. It'll just sit there. Hair can fall out. It's not pleasant, so make sure they've got company. Don't have one on its own. Give them space, give them quality of life. Otherwise, what's the point of having them? Thank you for watching.